Hopefully you can hear that. Sounds horrible. Welcome back to the channel. Into Outdoors. Got a new hat. But anyways, today, get you look right down in here. We got a box full of parts. Came from old Rock Auto. So today's video, we got some vehicle maintenance to do on one of the older units that we got around here on a Toyota Camry. Got a water pump. It's done went out in it. So we're gonna get these box of parts put on there, get it all buttoned up, so stick around. Let's go to work. Here we have the 2003 Toyota Camry. Like I said, we're gonna get us a water pump put in here. It's starting making some horrible noise, so we have diagnosed it a few weeks ago and picked up a water pump. So I'm gonna get it put on today and let y'all ride along with us. So, all right, we're gonna get this cranked up here and let you hear how horribly this thing sounds. Whoa. Been sitting so long, the battery done went down on me. Well, now we're going to have to charge this thing. All right, got her back started now. Hopefully you can hear that. Sounds horrible.
Those on the track.
Alright, got you back, got the serpentine off, letting it drain out of the radiator, the fluid. So just to show you more of where I diagnosed it the other day, here's the alternator pulley, no noise. Here's the water pump pulley. You may be able to hear that growling noise, and then this bad boy moves in and out on the pulley. Maybe you can see that on the camera. You can hear the clinking. She's gone. So all right, got you back here. Show a little more progress. Just unconnect those connectors. That's for the alternator. 14 on top, 12 on bottom. Of course, take your negative off and all that good jazz. Pulled it out to give more room. Like I said, you can get down here, see all this in play there, and roughness of. But and then it's wet, so it's been leaking for a little bit. I would assume, but I'm not 100% sure. Probably thermostat's up in there. So 19 on the tensioner. The belt tensioner on this, you move real slow. It's got some kind of hydraulic, more or less, damper on there. So it's not like a typical spring one that I've been used to, but we're about to knock some of these bolts off on this water pump here and get it out. Alright, back here for a little another update. Got the pulley off. I just put something to keep it from spinning in there. Pry bar screwdriver. 12 millimeter on those. 4 bolts in there. And break them loose. Take the water pump off too. Because you'll have to get in here to some of these other said bolts. Let me see if I can get a little more light in there. Other said bolts down in there. So like one right there, and then there's a couple back there in that back. But more and more we get on this, more and more this thing is flat gone. Got you back on another little update. Okay, this thing has 2 studs with nuts on and 4 bolts. Got the 4 bolts off, 2 studs. Want to make sure I wasn't missing one here in the bottom of this. So, hey, got the new part already, so I counted the holes. I know that seems simple, but you know, if you're not guessing how many holes or how many bolts and where there are to take out. So we should have this where it will come out. We're going to put a pan down below, catch anything coming out of this neck, and take a little mallet to it and tappy it on out. And just like that, a few little taps. Got the silicone old gasket broke loose. Slide this on out. Alright, well, oh, there comes the rest of that O-ring. So there's the old pump out. We'll get that gasket surface cleaned up and pop the new one in. Alright, we're going to get this cleaned up. Just a normal razor blade. I know everybody's going to have a different opinion on how to clean this off. There's a little bit of silicone left along with that gasket. I mean, that's how I'm going to put it back. But I'm just going to go scrape this off. Let me get me a clean rag and put it up in that hole. I'll clean the rest of this off and we'll get it put back together. Alright, got you back, a little more update. Got it silicone, that was a little bit left there. There's a rubber O-ring that comes with the water pump. I'm going to put just a little silicone on the outside. Maybe it's a little bit of excessiveness, but hey, I don't want this sucker leaking. It looks like that's how it was installed, this last one. Whether that was from the factory or this has been changed out in its previous life before I own this vehicle. So again, get it all cleaned up, prepped. We're going to put this bad boy back in, and then I will look up the torque specs and I'll get you back. Okay, here's the new water pump. That's what it looks like. Bearing doesn't growl like this other one. I doubt that'll pick up, but it's pretty wore out. Put a little of this right here on this outside, right on those ears. Just let that gasket be in there. I'll put just a little bit of grease on there. No, it looks like it's holding in there. I'll just put a little Permatex right here on this outside just for extra, and put it in there. We'll get it torqued down. Again, this may be excessive, but this is what I'm using. There it is. We just put just a little, ever so lightly, just right around outside of them bolt holes and everything like that. So got it cleaned out with some parts cleaner. I'm gonna let this tack up just a little bit. Always read the instructions on your packages, and then I'm gonna get that placed. I'm gonna wipe it out real quick, and then we'll get it placed in there and get her bolted back down. Alright, got you back, a little update. Got everything snugged down, kind of hand tight. Just your old quarter. And everything's 10mm, quarter drive. Hey, these Quinn stuff's pretty good from Harbor Freight. I'm not gonna lie. Ever since Sears went out in our area and can't get Craftsman very easily, and Harbor Freight stepped up their quality, these Quinn and Icon stuff's right up there with it. So don't count them out. But back to this right here. These are going to be 80-inch pounds, not foot-pounds, but 80-inch pounds. And then when we get these bolts back in here with the pulley on here, we're going to torque those down to 18 foot-pounds. So we're going to pull out the old inch pound and get these torqued down to 80-inch pounds. Alright, got them torque down. Of course, start and how you do torque sequence on any kind of head bolts, your wheels on your vehicle. You know, start and then go the opposite and crisscross back and forth, do a star pattern, and then after I do my star pattern, I'll go around, just check, make sure I did not miss any, and work my way around in a circle. But first, crisscross pattern your stars. Again, 80 foot-pound, not 80-inch pounds. And then these are going to be 18 foot-pounds once I get this pulley back in here and get these back on. Alright, wasn't able to get the torque wrench in there to get these down to 18 foot-pounds, so wrench them down as best you can, sticking a screwdriver or pry bar in there to keep this from spinning and getting them good and snug. Kind of get them about to the same tightness as when you were taking them off. If you feel how much resistance you had while you was taking them off, do the same, kind of putting them back on. You should be good. Alright, let's get some of this wiring put back in place, get the alternator back in place, and then we put the serpentine back on. And then I got a few other parts I need to change out. This little dog bone here, all this gasket's all gone in there, and see how motor moves a little bit. So I'm gonna get this top motor mount changed out as well today, and a new serpentine belt. Yep, as you see there, made a little boo-boo. Putting this plug back on. Before you do everything torquing, make sure you put them back on these two. Your bolt and your stud there for the hold that line. Yeah, got a little ahead of myself. So now I'm going to put the alternator back in. And then we'll get this plugged back up and get a serpentine on her, and then we'll give it a little time, and I'll change some of this other stuff out, and then we'll get it filled back up and get the air out of the system. Alright, got you back, got the alternator back on, plugged in, of course that one, that's plugged in, that stud is what recharges back to the battery there is on. Got these other push clips back on, so now we're ready to tackle the old serpentine, which they say go through the inner fender, but heck, I got the old one off, so we're going to have to snake this new one back down in here. Shouldn't be too bad. It's just sometimes seeing down in dark holes, but groove part goes on groove pulleys, smooth part of the belt goes on smooth pulleys. Okay, got you back. Wow, that probably was the biggest part of the job, was just getting the serpentine belt back in there and routed around as you go around the power steering pump, up over that idler, back down to the crankshaft, and then you go over to the AC compressor, back over the water pump, and then to the alternator. So got that all back on. Now next to I will go ahead and change out this and then worry about putting fluid back in. But man, that was the hardest part right there, just getting all the serpentine back around through there. Alright, update. Got this dog bone changed out. Got these little rubber isolators on it. The inside of this was all wore out. 14. It slides up and out. Here's the old one. Like I said, she was broken shot. Alright, we're getting to the tail end. We're wrapping this up. Dog bones in, new water pump, serpentine belt, got the battery hooked back up. Now we're about to fill the system back up. Alright, back. We're just filling this system. Should have it pretty close. So I'm gonna crank it up, see if we can get some of this air burped out of it. Took a whole gallon and about a gallon and a quarter right now. Alright, got her cranked back up. We're gonna let her run through there, check for leaks. Sounds way better already. And then let the thermostat kick on and get some air out of it. So yep, we're already sounding better. Alrighty, there you have it. Just burping the system here. The AC is working good. It's quiet. So we'll get some things cleaned up and take it down the road. All right, got this project buttoned up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it. Through some of the, it wasn't super hard. If you're halfway mechanically inclined, the frustrating part, I will say that, was just getting that serpentine belt back routed around because it gets tight in there. I had seen some videos say of taking some engine mounts loose and jacking it up, it'd give you a little more room to help get that pump out. I didn't have any of that problem of having to do all that, so I skipped those steps. So just basically get that alternator out of your way and that serpentine belt off and pull that pump out. Once you get that pulley off of it, and then just reverse everything and fill your system back up. So I'm running down the road right now just to do a little test drive. You always want to do that after you're get done with repairs. Kind of stay close around your house, do a little loop around it, just make sure everything's back. But I can tell you this car is way quieter. Obviously that pump had been going out longer than I had realized. So sometimes, you know, if you don't make time for maintenance, maintenance will make time for you, and that's how this ended up. This is my vehicle that I getting back and forth to one of my jobs every third day and commuting. Then having to drive my pickup truck, which fuel is, you know, up around $5 a gallon right now, where gasoline's about $3.50. So, and then I'm able to just keep everything in this car that I need for work and not have to pile it all in the back of my crew cab there, and can't haul anybody around because it takes up all the back, keep everything from being wet, where a nice little trunk has been a ticket. So like I said, I hope this video and me not just rambling a whole lot gives you the confidence, and just the confidence just to do some of your own DIY work, because everything's getting expensive. And I've always wanted to work on my stuff just because I've been cheap, to be quite honest, and it always has interested me, and started just in the, you know, working on your little motorsports, four-wheeler, stuff like that. I always wanted to accessorize them. Did the same thing with trucks all through high school and stuff like that. I always wanted to modify them. So again, I just hope this gives you the confidence to do your own repairs. No, you don't have to spend a bunch of money on tools. Internet's great. Just be careful about some people may give you a little bit of false information just to make a video. And also, mechanic shops aren't like what they used to. Hey, if you got you a good mechanic and you trust them, keep using them, you know, because that's just money exchanged in the local economy. But if you don't, and you don't have anybody worth the flip and all that good stuff, try to tackle it. Hope you have the confidence to, you know, do it and everything like that. So again, appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Help the channel grow, and where we can bring some more things to you. I know I got a little bit of everything on there on the channel, from running some equipment, doing DIY projects, and, you know, just spending time outdoors. So I just wanted to pop back onto here real quick. Latest video posted. Of course, I didn't think it'd get a whole lot of views real quick or nothing like that, but it is what it is. But again, it was on these Hollyland Lark M2 microphones, wireless mics and everything. So yeah, these recent videos I have been using these. I like them a lot. They've been helping in the editing part of it, of not having to get those cheaper mics always set, not as good as noise canceling when I get them up around my equipment and stuff like that, where these
these are. So I do highly recommend them. I've been enjoying using them. So hopefully you'll check those out. There's a link in the video, and I'll link them in this video. They're on Amazon. Yes, I do have the affiliate link. It is no extra cost to you. I get a little kickback. It's been slow. I'm just trying to get some stuff so I can bring y'all more content. That is all that I'm trying to do by having affiliate links, a little bit of buy me a coffee. It's, you know, kind of like a Patreon, so you can donate to the channel. So if you could, please help out. Everything I have has just been funded by me. Have no sponsors or anything like that. Of course, you know, small channel, get it. Ain't gonna happen anytime soon. So if I could have all you fellow followers help me out, it'd be great. You, and you. I do appreciate y'all. And just remember, I appreciate you tuning in, and
Catch you on the next one.